It's a beautiful day outside. Before I begin this video, I just wanted to say this is not about the Solange Street Fighter Ryu kicking episode in some elevator. This has nothing to do with the whole Solange fiasco that just went viral recently. Okay? The master's tool would never dismantle the master's house. That's a quote that I just heard from Bell Hooks from this panel. With over several hundred Nigerian girls missing, the well-respected feminist academic Bell Hooks decided to call Beyonce a terrorist after she deconstructed a Time magazine cover. She said this during a panel which featured Janet Mock, Shola Lynch, and Marci Blackman. Just a very smart group of people. Are you still a slave? Liberating the black female body. That was the headlining title of the panel. Now, obviously, she created a firestorm, and she's a radical. Of course, she's going to use certain words to really, spur excitement into the debate. But the use of terrorism is sensationalism. It's hyperbole. It's whatever you want to call it. I just think it's wrong in the context because there's a lot of people actually really getting terrorized right now. From her radical standpoint, yes, there's rigid structures in society that terrorizes women into boxes. I understand that. On the other hand, she sounds a bit like Bill O'Reilly. She has a similarity with Bill O'Reilly because she focuses on one artist that arguably from a conservative or radical point of view is degenerating to women, but completely excludes the women who aren't degenerating to women. In terms of standards worth achieving, one could argue that Lauryn Hill never ascribed to what Beyonce has done, but where was the praise from Bill O'Reilly when she was popping off, when she was really popular? And instead of creating this sort of balance of representation, Bell Hooks focused Beyonce's power and fame and sense of responsibility to that of the white supremacist, capitalist, patriarchal structure. God, that's a lot. Where is the praise of Janelle Monáe? If we want to create a balance of black female representation, there should also be a balance of black female discourse. Only then could we, by chance, arrive at a common ground. I personally find Janelle Monáe to be just as sexy as Beyonce because there's different ways of expressing your beauty and art, and there are different types of beauty and art. If Beyonce's immodesty bothers a conservative man, like it does for some women of socio-political persuasion, like a Bell Hooks, does that make that conservative man a controlling misogynist? Why does that offended woman get a pass in all of this? As a man, I'm so confused by the contradictions, the different nuances. Beyonce, on one hand, Beyonce is claiming her agency, her sexuality. On the other hand, she's ascribing to the impossible beauty standards dominated by the American sphere. Which one is it? You know, if you're an independent woman, women have a choice. You have the choice to look up to different women. What are these standards we're forcing on Beyonce? And I'm not defending Beyonce by any means. I'm just trying to get a grasp of this entire conversation. And I know feminism is generational. It has different waves of thought. But why is it always patriarchy's fault? Or why is a woman always subscribing to the male gaze? Why is it always the male gaze as if the female gaze doesn't exist? Criticism of a female pop icon's actions are either intentionally or unintentionally a man's fault. This happens all the time. I just don't understand. If women are here to exercise their own agency, shouldn't they be held accountable for their own actions? You can't have it both ways. And to play devil's advocate, I can see Bell Hooks' point. When I see a black guy with his pants hanging really low, I do feel like, oh damn, he's ascribing to the black male perception. But then when I see a white guy with his pants held low, I don't feel that sense of burden. I've been socially engineered to associate them differently under the same exact circumstances. In that regard, is Beyonce only a product of black feminism? I do understand that there has been historically a white and black rift among the feminist community, that they don't see eye to eye occasionally, let alone the different first, second, and third waves of feminism. But But yeah, is Beyonce just a product of black feminism? Is that what it is? If feminism is all-encompassing, then by Hook's logic, Katy Perry, Miley Cyrus, Madonna, Rihanna, they're all terrorists by her logic. Then again, it's kind of hard to lump Miley Cyrus in the same group as Beyonce, because Beyonce's not grabbing her crotch in the middle of a concert, and the status is a bit higher. But nonetheless, you get my point. I'm speaking purely about sexual objectification in all of its degrees, pussy grabbing or not. I guess there will forever be a battle between conformity and our subjective lens on liberation. Beyonce seems to play jump rope with feminist expectations. She'll have videos like Drunken Love, and she'll also have videos like Pretty Hurts. But that's what Tupac Shakur did. He catered to different aspects of the human experience. You know, there was this rugged, aggressive side, and then there was this very vulnerable individual who was very expressive. So you just have these two sides, these paradigms that we're all trying to navigate through, and that's part of being human in a sense, right? We are sexual beings, but we also want to control ourselves, and sometimes we want leaders to lead us, for the most part. Lately, and I could be wrong, I feel like women control other women's body more than men do. Madonna, Marilyn Monroe, Whitney Houston, Rihanna. These women conjure up different emotions for a lot of women. How exactly is a woman supposed to operate in her own space without the fear of ascribing to what has held her back for so many years? Another thing that confuses me is that even if Beyonce satisfies a man's desire, she is also simultaneously satisfying a woman's desire, a heterosexual woman's desire, a lesbian woman's desire. It all depends on how we view her. She's satisfying it or not satisfying it one way or the other. And boy, I love women, but feminism, at least from an academic standpoint, definitely needs to be continuously addressed. The cons need to be continuously challenged, so that we can create some sort of balance. Yeah, mainly it's an ongoing fight, mainly because the gray area is so ambiguous. And if we keep feminism in the academic world and can't find a way to sort of apply it, to make it applicable to reality, then that's where it's going to stay, and we're going to constantly be confused about what we expect from these female pop stars. Until then, I'm going to rewatch that video of Solange drop kicking Jay-Z. I'm sorry. Until then, my beautiful people, make sure you're good parents. Expose your sons and daughters to every aspect of life, the good, the bad, the ugly. That way they can realize that life isn't some page taken out of a book. All right. To the ladies out there, I love you, mind, body, and soul. Yes, I'm not objectifying you if I like your body. All right, bye. Until then, my beautiful people, make sure you're good parents. Expose your sons and daughters to every aspect of life, the good, the bad, the ugly. That way they can realize that life isn't some page taken out of a book. All right. To the ladies out there, I love you, mind, body, and soul. Yes, I'm not objectifying you if I like your body. All right, bye.